Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during a 16-game season era. Monday Night Vibes, man. How we doing, man? I'm still doing a little homework, looking up some things as we kick it off here to Monday night, man, and we have a lot to discuss. You know, Arizona Cardinals versus the Dallas Cowboys, and I know it's a lot of Cowboys fans in America, and the disappointment continues on and on and on, over and over and over and over and over. First, you trade Micah Parsons. You think that helps out a little bit, and it does. Try to get the culture back in the locker room. You don't want all this he say, she say going on, everything being spilled to the media, because Micah Parsons was the first person to run to the media. You get rid of him, and that doesn't change much. Yeah, you look good 1 or 2 games, but no consistency. Dallas Cowboys doesn't have no consistency. But hold on, let me bring on my co-host for the night, 2-3 Drees. You know he doesn't like the Cowboys just as well as I don't like the Cowboys. It's runs in our blood. It's in our veins, baby. When you played for the Eagles, baby, that's just a part of life. And y'all, welcome back. Philly's on 2-3 Drees, man. How we doing tonight, baby? How are we doing?
We them boys. Hold up. Damn, Cowboys.
Got that butt whoop.
Mm-hmm.
What was that score? 27-17, boys. Truly beautiful, ain't it? It's truly beautiful. It's a truly beautiful thing, baby. Yes, sir. Dallas Cowboys. For the first tonight, man, we're going to talk about the game a little bit. Then we have to talk about Kevin Stefanski. If y'all haven't heard the latest and the greatest that is coming out of Cleveland after the bye week, we're going to get into it and let y'all know what's going on with Stuart Sanders and the Cleveland Browns along with Kevin Stefanski. And then we have to talk about some trades and things like that is happening in the NFL. Because the trade deadline is tomorrow, get your players, pick who you want, and hurry up and make a deal, or the deadline is going to hit you in the butt. So here we are, man. How you feeling tonight, man? You ready to turn up and turn out?
Listen, I'm feeling amazing. I feel like the Eagles bye week was the best bye week in bye week history. You got the number 1 teams losing, the Lions losing, you got the Green Bay losing, and then you got the Cowboys losing, and then you're making trades to make your weaknesses a little bit stronger. I mean,
oh man,
it's like the best bye week in bye week history right here.
Taking care of the needs when the needs needs to be addressed. That's Howie Roseman for you, man. What's up, chat? How y'all doing out there tonight? I don't see the chat, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell button and say what needs to be said, man. How y'all doing out there tonight? JT, how's she doing? How you doing? How you doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? Say, glad he's no longer calling them plays in Cleveland. I bet it's a lot of people glad that anything happens in Cleveland. Just start the coaches need to take a step back. The owner, management, whatever is going on. A lot of things need to transpire until Shedeur Sanders get his opportunity and his shot to see what he needs to do. But let's get into this game tonight, man. Let's get into this game tonight. The Dallas Cowboys lose to the Arizona Cardinals 27-10. And like I said, I know it's so many Cowboy fans out here in America. And I know it's a lot of people that are disappointed. But, hey, man, Marvin Harrison Jr., he showed up and showed out tonight.
That was Junior.
He had a season, not a season best, but almost right there, a season high. You know, he almost had that type of day today, man. He came out smoking, man. Jumped out on the Cowboys fast. They didn't know what to do with themselves. He was impressive this game, man. And the difference was Jacoby Brissett was getting the football to him. That's the difference. And now the Arizona Cardinals, have a quarterback controversy. Kyler Murray isn't getting his job back. If anybody likes Kyler Murray out there or is a believer in Kyler Murray, you best believe he isn't getting his job back unless something unfortunate happens, and we all know we don't want nothing unfortunate to happen. But Kyler Murray isn't getting his job back. That's the way it goes in the NFL. Jacoby Brissett attempted 31 passes, completed 21 of those 31 pass attempts, and it completed 70% of his passes. That is always good in the NFL when you complete 70% of your passes, but 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. No interception. And we see Marvin Harrison. I think his career high, not his career high, season high was like 98 yards. I don't know how many receptions, but today he got 7 receptions, man. And they went off and they did their thing, man. He looked like a totally different player. Marvin Harrison looked totally different player.
I thought that was Senior out there, man, out there getting open, using that footwork, getting open. I'm like, is that Senior out there?
The thing about it, man, it's hard for an offensive coordinator getting anything accomplished with Kyler Murray running around left and right to left, back and forth, with no intention to get the football down the field. You have your number one draft pick, top 5, top 10 draft pick. He is the potential is through the roof. The scouts evaluated him and said he's probably will be one of the best ever to play the game. And you're running around left and right and don't make him a priority to get him the football every game. That does a lot to a player, man. And we'll talk about that after we finish talking about the Cowboys and how much they suck. You understand? We'll talk about that after we finish talking about the Cowboys. But one thing about Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys, they will find a way to lose one way or another. Somehow, some way, the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott will find a way to lose. And if y'all don't remember, early in the game, and we talked about this yesterday on Last Night Live, teams are taking these fourth downs for granted, and it's just another down for them. And everybody's gambling on fourth down. And that's exactly what happened tonight for the Dallas Cowboys. They went for it on fourth down in the first quarter and turned the ball over on down. They could have got a field goal out of that series of play, but they decided to go for it on fourth down and came away from that series with 0 points.
Opening drive.
And not only did they come away with that in that drive with 0 points, after the Cardinals made 4 stops, they stopped them on 4 downs. Physical football. The Cardinals drove the ball down the field. What was it? 85, 90 yards. The Cardinals drove the football 85 yards down the field. They didn't score, but they got a field goal. Football is about momentum. I talk to y'all about that all the time. Football is about momentum. Can't let the momentum keep shifting back and forth. You want to control that momentum. And the Dallas Cowboys had an opportunity to kick a field goal, get some points, take the lead, then start all over and reset. Kick off on kick the ball off on special teams.
Right.
But Arizona Cardinals went down and struck, man, and they got a field goal. And didn't look back from that. They didn't look back from then. And it wasn't all just Dak's fault. Defense let the team down. They didn't show up. They didn't show up in key situations just as well as Dak Prescott. And if y'all don't remember, on that opening series, fourth down, they went for it. Dak Prescott was sacked. And not only on that fourth down, he was sacked. I don't know if it was fourth down or maybe it was third down, a key third down. But it was the Cowboys was in goal line range. They was within the 10 yards to get into the end zone. That's goal line. And he was sacked twice when the Cowboys was in goal line range. And what I saw from Dak Prescott when he was sacked, when the pressure was on and these was key situations when his team needed him most, that he was scared to make a mistake. He didn't want to let that football go because he was scared that things may not go his way. That's what I saw. And that's Dak Prescott in a nutshell. He misses too many opportunities in key moments when his team needs him the most to make a play. Being successful 1 out of every 6 plays is just not good enough in the NFL if you want to be a winner. And we all know that Prescott is not a winner. Woo, he's not a winner. He's one of those players that need a team, awesome team around him. Not just names like C.D. Gardner and C.D. Lamb and George Pickens, because these guys they have some talent, and they're known as we probably consider them one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. But in all reality, these two guys are probably the most laziest route running receivers in the NFL. They play so lazy, and their effort is just, it's not where it needs to be on the NFL level. Lazy, undisciplined, and don't give 100% effort every time. You can be as talented as you want, but you have to put that work in, man. And I don't see that from these two guys. Those two guys are entitled wide receivers who feel like, hey, man, I get me the football, or it is what it is. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, you can see it on CD Lamb faces. It's starting to get that checkout look. They're like, getting ready to get done with the season. The way he going to the sideline every time is like, it's damn near over, man. This season, that's where I'm going for. Where I'm going to Cancun, Cabo.
What is the point for? What is the reason for me to continue to play for the Dallas Cowboys this season? We're not going to the playoffs. We're not good. We don't have nothing to look forward to. So why am I out here giving it my all? It's time for me to shut it down. My money is made. It's guaranteed. I'm telling you, that's the thought process of a lot of these players out here. You understand? And hey, let's talk about the Cowboys. 24 of 39. 64%. Yeah, like I said, you need to have a good team around if you want to be throwing 64%, going 24 for 39 and expecting to win. They still had opportunity to win. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 250 yards. Wasn't good enough. And then the dynamic duo, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. CeeDee Lamb went 7 receptions for 85 yards, 0 TDs. 6 receptions for 79 yards. George Pickens, 0 TDs. But George Pickens, he causes other situations to go on in the game besides just him getting the football. And that was causing penalties. He had it's always something about George Pickens with him being undisciplined. Him can't control his emotions out there. And we all know the rules. There's no taunting. There is no taunting or getting in another player's face or the defender's place. And what does he do? Taunt in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line. Dak Prescott is doing everything he can to try to get his team back into the game. But, hey, man, that's what happens when you have lazy, undisciplined, entitled receivers or players in general. And that's who I think, I don't know, man. George Pickens might just be a little crazy, man. He look a little crazy to me, man. If I was walking down the street and I seen George Pickens and we was on the same sidewalk, I'm probably gonna go across the street. You know what I'm saying? Not just growing up back in the days, you gotta evaluate your circumstances, man. Like, all right, I'm just gonna cross the street, man. I don't like the way that dude looked down there walking up on me, man. But yeah, that's what George Pickens remind me of. A lot of talent, man. I just don't see them playing to the capabilities of their talent. They route running sucks. They're very sluggish and lazy. It's just it's just not what I'm used to seeing. I'm used to, you know what I'm used to. Let's not go there. But man, from another cornerback to another cornerback, DaRon Bland. Woo, he had a rough night tonight, man. Thank God he already got paid, and those days are over with. He got those interceptions and got his money, because what we witnessed tonight, that check would have got taken back away from him, boy. If Jerry Jones would have seen what happened tonight before he stroked that check,
he definitely wasn't paying. He definitely wasn't paying that.
That check would have got rejected so fast when he went to try to cash it at the bank, man. That thing would have said, "Sorry, sir, there are no funds available in this account to cash this check. I'm sorry. Please return to your organization and confide with them."
Man, even you see CeeDee Lamb on the sideline with that touchdown, that slant where he put him down, put Bland down on the ground.
Man, the way Marvin Harrison set DaRon Bland up in the end zone and shook him off the line of scrimmage, man, that was just totally embarrassing. And like you said, CeeDee Lamb looked at the big jumbo screen and he was in awe. You know why? Because that is one of the worst things that can happen to a cornerback is fall in coverage. And not only in any coverage, you fall in coverage and it goes for a touchdown. That is on ESPN Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way up to Thursday Night Football. That's the highlight of the week. They're gonna talk about you. And CeeDee Lamb didn't make it no better, boy. CeeDee Lamb will be on ESPN reacting to that play as his fellow cornerback or his teammate is getting embarrassed in primetime football. 4K, boy. Everybody's watching.
Out there on the island, there's y'all too. Nobody else out there.
It's YouTube, boy. That's why it's called the island, man.
Man, I could tell you, I gave up a touchdown. I gave a touchdown similar to that on a goal line, but it wasn't just off, it wasn't off the shake. It was off the he sold the fade, put the arm up. I flipped my hips to jump with him on the fade. When the cross for the slant.
I know that looked bad right there. Hey, y'all don't understand, boy. That was a bad look right there. What he just explained, man. Hey, man, that is one of the. That's why cornerback. We're gonna continue to tell y'all, man. Cornerback is one of the hardest positions to play, man. It's like you have to figure out a technique to figure out where another human being is trying to go. You have to beat them to that spot and then stop them from catching the football. But what I found out watching this game and watching Jacoby Brissett orchestrate this offense and run this offense how it needs to be ran, without Kyler Murray running left and right, left, and back and forth and all those type of things, Kyler Murray was destroying careers in Arizona. That's basically what I seen tonight. Everything that was happening bad to Arizona Cardinals pretty much was Kyler Murray's fault. And do I think he's an elite quarterback? No. I think he was specially handpicked by Cliff Kingsbury because of Cliff Kingsbury days in college, and being at Texas Tech and recruiting him and understanding the guy's history and being a winner and things like that. But in all reality, his size and everything else to go along with Kyler Murray, man, it just doesn't fit the NFL standards. Yeah, you have Doug Flutie, which is probably the same size as Kyler Murray that was able to get it done and things like that. But, man, Kyler Murray, man, it's like when you watch Kyler Murray play for the Arizona Cardinals, it's really like you're watching someone play Madden and a smaller quarterback just run around and not doing anything that a game plan consists of. Like, you can't coach a game plan the way Kyler Murray runs that offense. And from what I've seen tonight, like I said, Kyler Murray was destroying careers in Arizona. There's no way Marvin Harrison could play wide receiver and be confident knowing that his quarterback is going to be running left and right to left with no intentions of throwing the football down the football field. And that takes the confidence right out of wide receiver. Unless he understands when I run my route and he doesn't hit me right on time, that it's time to, get open. Because my quarterback is going to stay alive and still try to get me the football down the field. That's not the case with my Kyler Murray. And I'm telling you, that is very discouraging, especially in Marvin Harrison, junior shoes. And I'm telling you, that's what happened. That's what happened to him.
Imagine doing that route he did at the end zone for the touchdown, and then you got the quarterback running out the opposite way for no reason.
It's crazy, man. And I know, man, I'm telling you, man, I bet it was hard for Marvin Harrison to stay mentally connected in games when he knows Kyler Murray is just going to take off with the football instead of passing it. That's very hard to do, man. It's hard. And you expect me to go out there and run my routes 100% every play, and I know exactly what's going to happen. I might try 1 or 2 games, but then it's over and over, and it happens over and over and over. It's just very discouraging. Very discouraging. And it's simple, man. Kyler Murray can just keep his eyes down the field when he's running, or the pocket is collapsing like a Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. But I don't know, man. But now, Marvin Harrison got Jacoby Brissett. He could play with a lot more confidence. And his confidence level will definitely grow. And now you will see the progression and see the player that Marvin Harrison really is. Right? And if y'all haven't heard or didn't know about it or what was going on, Marvin Harrison Sr., the Hall of Famer, the one I used to go at it with, back in the Indianapolis Colts days when he had Peyton Manning, things like that. Let's pull up the article. Pull up the article while I'm talking about this Marvin Harrison Sr. not wanting to go to the games. Dries, pull it up for me on your phone. You got your phone on you?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So yeah, man, Marvin Harrison Sr., man, he isn't happy about what was happening with his son and his son being a part of the Arizona Cardinals offense before tonight's game. Now, I'm sure after tonight's game, he understands and he sees that now his son has a quarterback who can get him the ball and a quarterback who can operate an NFL offense the way it's supposed to be operated. All these quarterbacks y'all see running around left and right and, making just trying to create plays instead of running that offense. That's not what football is about. And that's not how football was played back in probably 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Now, all the quarterbacks are no one is just a pocket passer. You still have Jared Goff and maybe a Matthew Stafford and a few other quarterbacks. Most of the quarterbacks are taught to make something happen, right? Escape the pocket and make something happen. That's all you see nowadays. But hey, I guess that's more beneficial than having a pocket passer because you don't have to invest into the offensive line as much as you did in the past. You can go find all these great skilled players. But now that, like I said, Jacoby Brissett is there getting the job done. Marvin Harrison Sr., hey, he looks like an elite wide receiver in the NFL now. Maybe he isn't a bust,
Even
maybe all the criticism we had about him not running his routes hard and getting off the ball fast enough, not playing to the speed of the NFL, maybe all those things was just him losing his confidence because of who his quarterback was. You know what I'm saying? Like so many different situations and things like that. But what the article said, man, about his dad, man, did you find it?
Yeah, I found it. It said Marvin Harrison Sr. says it's very hard to watch the Cardinals offense. The style of offense that I'm accustomed to, that I'm used to watching with a professional eye as a wide receiver, Marvin Harrison said, I just can't relate to watching that current offense, that style of offense. Basically, I can't relate to what's going on there.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Marvin Harrison was in the era a little bit before me, but like I said, we went head to head. But he's used to perfection the same way I'm used to perfection. He played with a Super Bowl quarterback. I played with a Super Bowl quarterback. He was on the Super Bowl team. I was on the Super Bowl team. So he sees what's going on and why his son is so frustrated and not being able to be productive based on the quarterback situation that they had there with Kyler Murray. They invested a lot of money in Kyler Murray, and he's one of those 100-something million guys. And I don't know about his contract situation, but times is changing. John Cannon, the new head coach, man, he had the guts and he had to go through whatever he had to go through with management, general manager, the owners or whoever to let them know or make them understand that Kyler Murray isn't the guy. I have to make a change for us to see some success. And now he's seeing some success, and that's how you win everybody over, baby. You figure it out, you win, and you make everything better. That's what John Cannon is doing, along with Jacoby Brissett, man. Jacoby Brissett, I watched Jacoby Brissett play in the New England days. I watched him play for the Cleveland Browns. Listen, you get with the right coach, the right quarterback coach, the right coaching staff that can develop a quarterback or put the quarterback in the right position to make those plays, man, listen, you see what happens, man. We've seen that happen with Geno Smith when he went to the Seattle Seahawks and Pete Carroll after he was terrible for the New York Jets. Now, of course, he's back to being terrible, but whatever, it's all good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Bruce Lee, man. There y'all go. There go the chat. They waking up. Popcorn. On the train, watch Zun do his thing. He said, y'all know about that. He said, man, I had 2 bags of popcorn watching Dallas fold, man. Who said Dallas was back? No way, Dallas ain't never back, man.
Man, Dallas ain't having one
quarterback, man.
I don't think people realize Dallas didn't have a winning record since week 1 of 2024. It's been almost 456 days since they had a winning record.
It's all hype. That's why I say, man, there's so many Dallas Cowboys fans across the world of America that it's just like, it's overwhelming that it's just like the perception is that this team is good or something, that they're a winning team. They haven't won. When the last time they won Super Bowls? In the early 90s or the mid 90s?
When I was 3.
When was you 3? In the mid 90s?
1993.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's how long.
No, they won 95 when I was 5.
Yeah, it was like they won a couple of Super Bowls in the 90s, you know,
yeah,
and that's been carrying the Dallas Cowboys for the past 30 to 40 seasons. Those couple of teams from when they had Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, you know, Deion Sanders came over there, and a whole bunch of other very talented and legendary players. But those days are gone. This is over with. The Dallas Cowboys are no longer anything great, man. It's just basically a shit show at the end of the day. It's nothing but a great time to talk about and a lot of high hopes that get torn down every year. That's what happened to Dallas Cowboys fans. And we love it. Hey, we love it. Hey, keep going. We love it.
NFC. They haven't even been to the NFC Championship since then, like since '95. So it's been 30 years since they've been in the NFC Championship.
That they had to get to that NFC Championship, I think it wasn't the Super Bowl. You had another quarterback like Dak Prescott. He's gonna make a key play in the key situations, 1 out of every 6 chances, and that's Tony Romo. Yes. And they had him as the field goal kicker. And y'all seen when he flopped that field goal, for whatever apparent reason, he messed up the field goal. Messed up the season. Somehow, some way, Dallas Cowboy players figure out a way to screw things up. I don't know. Somehow, some way. But hey, moving right along, man. Kevin Stefanski, man. Y'all don't know, man. The Cleveland Browns was on a bye week this week. That's why you haven't heard about Dylan Gabriel having a terrible game this week, because the Cleveland Browns are on bye week. And you didn't hear everybody calling for Shedeur Sanders because they're taking a break. But Kevin Stefanski is back, baby. Kevin Stefanski is back from that bye week. And guess what? He is up to his shenanigans all over again. And he surprised me with this one. I can't lie to you. I couldn't have seen this one coming. No one could have expected what just happened or what he just announced, basically, because why would he do something like this? Right? But at the end of the day, I think Kevin Stefanski on the bye week, and he got a chance to see Joe Flacco throw for 470 yards, and that obviously struck a nerve somehow for Kevin Stefanski. I know he wished Joe Flacco would have threw for 470 yards in his offense, but no one could throw for 470 yards in his offense because that offense is terrible, outdated, and it needs to be refurbished. But hey, for some reason, Kevin Stefanski didn't take the time out to evaluate how bad his starting quarterback is, which is Dylan Gabriel. He only wanted to evaluate himself and how his play calling was going. So, what does Kevin Stefanski do? Can I get a drum roll, please? Kevin Stefanski decides to remove himself from play calling duties to protect Dylan Gabriel. That's the only reason he's removing himself from play calling duties, is to protect Dylan Gabriel and not play Shedeur Sanders. I've never seen a coach remove himself from play calling duties because a 3rd-round quarterback wasn't capable of getting the job done. How does Kevin Stefanski skip over benching the quarterback and seeing if the backup quarterback or the quarterback behind him can get the job done and saying, you know what, it's my fault. Let me remove me and get you another offensive coordinator that can help you be successful. How? When? When did you ever see it? Maybe for a 1st-rounder, yes, that had, high grades on everybody's board and, the potential is crazy. But for a 3rd-round, 5'10" quarterback, he steps down from play calling duties. This is deeper than rap, y'all. What's his
reason? What's the reason he's saying?
He's not saying there is no reason. But we'll read the article. There is no reason. But I have a reason. And, I should have been brought it up and talked about it before. But there's obviously something going on. Like I said, it's deeper than rap, But if it was never obvious before, what the Browns are doing to Shedeur, it is obvious now. Kevin Stefanski removing himself as the offensive coordinator is as clear as day, a clear indication Shedeur is being played with. Y'all check this out. Let me read this from my phone. It said, these are things. This is from Kevin Stefanski, right? He said, these are things that I am looking at. What can we do better? Stefanski said of his decision via Jeff Scourgill of the News Herald. I have a ton of trust and faith in Tommy. He's more than capable. So excited for him. But bottom line is we have to just get better collectively. So that offense, that's defense, that's special teams, that's players, that's coaches. So that's our charge, and that's what we're working hard to do. Stefanski said the bye week allowed him to look at things, and he felt like Tommy Rees gives the offense a good chance to improve. I just felt like it was time for this, Stefanski said. It's never about one person, whether you talk about a player or a coach. And of course, he's referring to Shedeur Sanders.
That's a shot right there.
That's a shot, right? But obviously, I think Tommy's going to be himself, and that's what I'm asking him to do. I'll be there every step of the way to help him in any way I can, like you should with any play caller. But bottom line is he understands what we need to do, which is stay on the field and score points. So that's the message. Now, Stefanski is making Tommy Rees the scapegoat to stop from playing Shedeur Sanders. This is crazy, man. Kevin Stefanski is stepping down, making Tommy Rees the offensive coordinator or the play caller, so he can be the scapegoat for not having to play Shedeur Sanders, because it's time to play Shedeur Sanders. But this is another excuse that Stefanski is using to shy away from Shedeur Sanders. And it's so funny because Stefanski didn't have a problem benching Joe Flacco for Dillon Gabriel. Why is it a problem to bench Dillon Gabriel for Shedeur Sanders?
Hey, I think JT got a little point right here. He said that did he remove himself or somebody else removed him?
Exactly. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the powers to be. But I think he had to remove himself because this was a way that he can get away with not being able to play Shedeur Sanders. Think about it. This is this last possible ditch effort for him not to have a reason to play Shedeur Sanders. He didn't have no other reason. This was it. Unless he just stepped down as coach, period. But I bet if someone asked Dillon Gabriel, does Shedeur Sanders deserve a chance to play based on Dillon Gabriel's performance, I'm sure Dillon would agree and say, yeah, Shedeur should have a shot to see what he can do.
No, he's not. Sure. He's not saying that.
Based on his performance, I'm saying based on his performance. I'm not just saying based on pride, entitlement, and competition and things like that. I'm saying based on 4 games or 5 games that Dillon Gabriel played, would he, if someone asked him, a reporter came up to him and asked him, based on your 5 games or the 4 games you played, do you think Shedeur Sanders should get a shot? I'm sure he has to say yeah. What other answer could he give? He say, no, man, I think I'm getting the job done, or this week, X, Y, and Z. What could he possibly say?
This week, I better prepare myself. Like, ain't anybody gonna say no. This man had a job. Hell no, ain't nobody gonna do that.
I don't know, man. I don't know how could he not possibly say that Shedeur Sanders deserve a chance. Like,
I can't believe you expect that from him. You expect the NFL quarterback to say that? Be like, oh no, I shouldn't be starting. He should.
Bro, if you look at the
how
film,
bad
if he's watching his film, evaluating himself the way we evaluating him, there's no, bro, that's like me going in the game and just getting scored on 3 times, and you asking me, do I think such and such should get a chance? And I say no. Obviously, I'm looking like a unauthentic person, a non-truthful guy. Like, you can't believe me about nothing. My credibility is shot. You understand? So 100% Dillon Gabriel would say yeah. I'm willing to bet. If I need anybody know any beat writers in Cleveland, please ask beat writers to ask Dillon Gabriel, do they think Shedeur Sanders should get a shot? We need to know. We need answers. But if Stefanski has so much dislike towards Shedeur Sanders, why did he draft him? I just can't figure this out for nothing. Why draft a player you are fighting not to play? Makes no sense. Draft Shedeur Sanders, all the great things he's done in college and for Colorado. Now Colorado can't get anything done without him there. You draft him and you fight, do everything in your power not to play him. From the injuries, the oblique injury, the shoulder injury, holding him out in practice. I mean, keeping him out of games last minute, making him inactive. To now stepping down from play calling duties because in 4 to 5 games, Dillon Gabriel looks awful. Production is terrible. He is doing nothing to help the offense. If Shedeur gets a chance to start this early in the season and does good, you know what that means for Kevin Stefanski? He won't have a choice but to let Shedeur Sanders be the starter for the rest of the season, and now Shedeur Sanders can be the future quarterback in Cleveland. And
that might save his job.
That might, but he doesn't want to save his job like that. That probably would drive him crazy more than anything, having to look at Shedeur Sanders every day, his swag, his style, the way he walked, the way he talked. And then, he's going to get more confident and get more comfortable and start being himself more and more and more. And Stefanski probably just have to retire and say he's done with football for unknown reasons. But maybe at the end of the day, Stefanski is more concerned with his system being the reason for any success that the Cleveland Browns offense have, because it's just not making no sense.
How much more would the offense change with a different person calling the plays?
I mean, you can always make it a run-first defense or a pass-first defense. You can call a lot of pass plays. You can call a lot of run plays. It just depends on, the way you're approaching the game. I'm sure there are plays that Kevin Stefanski didn't call, plays that he didn't install into the game plan based on, the handicaps of Dillon Gabriel and so on and so forth. But now maybe they might try something different. Like I said, this is one last ditch effort to try to save Dillon Gabriel and continue to let him be the starter. So we're going to see the best out of Tommy Rees and Kevin Stefanski, because Kevin Stefanski is still going to have something to do with the offense. Of course, he's just not going to completely be away from the play calling duty. He's going to be in Tommy Rees' ear for sure. You know what I mean? But this latest move by Stefanski, man, it has to be his last excuse not to play Shedeur Sanders if this doesn't work out. We all know it's not going to work out. We all know it's not going to work out because Tommy Rees can't change who Dillon Gabriel is. He is who he is. His arm strength alone isn't strong enough to be an NFL quarterback. We already established that. If it's only so long in each game before Dillon Gabriel flaws are exposed. And that's when key situations and key moments come up. And, it's basically defensive backs and things like that. We're challenging everything in front of us because we don't respect his arm strength. So he have to be able to get the football down the football field to even make us scared or be a threat to defensive backs. And then we all know that when running backs, when the running game isn't clicking, Dillon Gabriel is nothing but a sitting duck. load the blitzes up and fire him off left and right because he can't escape with his legs. He's not creative, that creative with his legs. So let the blitz go. But here's the connection, man. Here's the connection. There's a guy named Jimmy Sexton. He's been around for a while, and I think he's the founder, co-founder, something like that, of a company called CAA, Creative Artists Agency. And he is the agent for Kevin Stefanski and a ton of other coaches and players. Jimmy Sexton. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Sexton also represents, hear me clearly now.
I'm listening.
Jimmy Sexton also represents, or he represented, UCF head coach when Dylan Gabriel was there, Oklahoma head coach when Dylan Gabriel was there, and Oregon Ducks head coach while Dylan Gabriel played.
That's the connection right there
for Oregon Ducks. I don't know if this is Dylan Gabriel somehow became Jimmy Sexton's godson or something like that, but somehow, some way, Jimmy Sexton has he must love Dylan Gabriel because he's protected. I'm sure he has other players around the league and way before Dylan Gabriel and things like that. But why is Dylan Gabriel being protected so good? Like, what? I don't understand, man. And that's the only thing I could think of is the connection from Jimmy Sexton and that he has with all the players, with all the coaches that was responsible for, making Dylan Gabriel who he is and his college career and so on and so forth. That's the only thing I could think of, man. It's the only thing I can think of. Like, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't matter. I've watched Dylan Gabriel at UCF. I watched Dylan Gabriel at Oklahoma. I watched Dylan Gabriel for the Oregon Ducks. He is who he is. There is no change in him. The best thing he do, his best assets is making quick reads, processing everything quickly and getting the ball out quick. But those same assets that he have that he used, that are good for him can also come back to bite him in the butt because those quick reads sometimes are not there and it's too late. You already committed to that situation. And now as we've seen, those plays turn into turnovers a lot of the time, especially when you can't threaten the defense deep and they're not worried about you getting the ball deep. Right. So, we want Shedeur, man, and we're waiting for Shedeur, and there is no holding him back. No one told y'all to draft, told him to draft Dylan Gabriel and draft Shedeur Sanders at the same time. You drafted Shedeur because he's a player, and it's time to give him this shot, man. And that's what he want to see, man. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this pan out. Who the Cleveland Browns got this week when they get off of bye week? They got the Jets. And like I say, man, Kevin Stefanski, man, he's out here playing chess, not checkers, if you can tell. He stepped down from calling plays to stop from benching Dylan Gabriel. So he's looking at this game against the Jets like this is a great opportunity, another great opportunity. And I think they have another terrible game after the Jets, right? Like this is another great opportunity.
Ravens after the Jets.
Right. It's another opportunity for Dylan Gabriel to go out and have a successful game and, just justify everything that Kevin Stefanski is doing. That's what at the end of the day, got to figure. I don't know, man. Jimmy Sexton is all I could think of. Anybody else has an answer or a reason?
I don't know. But you said I know something. Your prediction from before the season even started was Shedeur by week 10. Week 10 coming up.
Week 10 is coming up, man. Week 10 is coming up, man. They published that on Yahoo.com, man, that I predicted. Super Bowl champion Asante Samuel predicted Shedeur Sanders will be starting by week 10. And listen, it's looking real good, man. It's looking real good.
I mean,
trade deadline tomorrow, man. Trade deadline tomorrow, and the Eagles made a blockbuster trade. Not a blockbuster trade. I'm just trying to make it sound bigger than it is, man. You know what I mean? But hey, one thing about the Eagles, man, they ain't scared to get it done, man. The man Howie Rose, man. One thing about Howie, man, he will address the team's need, whether it's good or bad, whether it's the right player or the wrong player. He's going to take his shot and he continue to shoot his shot. That's why Howie Roseman is Howie Roseman. And he's probably going to go down as one of the best general managers and, probably ever been associated with the NFL. I can't think of another situation where someone was better than him, or what they're going to call Bill Belichick the general manager. I don't know. But Howard Roseman, he's doing a really good job, And I'm telling you, man, I can smell it. I don't have nothing to verify what I'm about to tell you. I don't have no inside resources or nothing like that. And I'm telling you, I know Howie Roseman was going after Myles Garrett head first. He wanted Myles Garrett because he knew Myles Garrett would change everything for the Philadelphia Eagles. He would change everything. But he saw that, trying to get Myles Garrett required too much. So he had to go get the next best target. And that had to be Jalen Phillips, And one thing I like about Jalen Phillips, man, is he's a speedy physical type linebacker, outside linebacker, man, pass rusher, right? And that will help those big dogs in the middle, the Jalen Carter and what's the other defensive tackle name out of Georgia?
Jordan Davis.
And Jordan Davis, man. So, with him speeding, getting that outside pressure, and then, the other two collapse in the pocket, man, I think that will match up really well, I like Phillips, man. He's a really good talent, man. He's a really good acquisition for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's going to boost up that pass rush, getting pressures and things like that. It's all for the Dolphins, he had a lot of almost sacks. Now, a lot of almost sacks can turn into real sacks. But the only issue is his injury history, I don't know if I'm correct in the seasons, right, or the years, but last year he was dealing with an ACL. I think he recovered from an ACL injury, and the year before that he was dealing with
Achilles,
a torn Achilles, right? And those career-altering injuries, man, they can slow you down, man. Those injuries continue to build up and build up. They'll slow you down. So I don't know if we're gonna get the prime time, in his prime, Jalen Phillips. He might have a step back, might get a step back type of Jalen Phillips, but regardless, I think he will have a much bigger impact for the Eagles than he had for the Miami Dolphins. No doubt about it. Especially with the kind of the front that the Eagles have,
For sure, especially with another thing we're adding him. Also, two other places coming back. Brandon Graham's coming back this week, and Nolan Smith, he's coming back. He's been out almost the whole season with that torn bicep. So that's 3 more pass rushers added to the team. So it ain't like he has to be the guy every down. You know what I mean? They're gonna have a good rotation of people going in and out. So that's also, you keeping your edge rushers fresh coming off the edge. That's another plus right there too.
Right, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And I was going to bring up that you mentioned it as well. It's like that's what made the Eagles so successful on defense. It's not like they had just 4 outstanding or great defensive linemen or pass rushers and things like that. They had about 8 of them, and they was able to keep each player fresh by rotating them. Different plays in and out of the game. And now, like you said, all these different players coming back, and now you have your depth back. Now you can get rotating these players and keeping them fresh, and get back to how Eagles was doing their thing. But the Eagles' problem, man, this season was getting pressure on the quarterback. Last season, the Eagles, I think the Eagles was 16th. I mean, the Eagles ranked 13th last season with 41 sacks, right? Which was pretty good. 13th last season, out of 32 teams, 41 sacks, right? Now this season, the Eagles are ranked 23rd with 16 sacks. Now it's a little early in the season, but Howie Roseman sees that the team is having a little trouble getting pressure on the quarterback. But once again, what does Howie do? He's going to address those needs, man. He's going to address those needs. And, hopefully Jalen Phillips, he's everything that we need, man, on the edge, man, because great edge rusher, man. Get a DB picks, baby. Get those
another person they be put on the edge as well, too. Rookie Jahad Campbell. First they had him in the middle because Nakobe Dean was hurt. Now Nakobe Dean came back and put him in the middle. They put in Jahad Campbell on the edge as well. So that's 4 more pass rushers off in over a week. You know what I mean? So that's keep everybody fresh. That rotation that you talked about, that's what made them good last year to make that Super Bowl run because that rotation, and they starting to build that rotation up again, and as well at corner too. Last year, the one of their strengths was they had a lot of D-backs a lot of D-backs, and this year that's one of their weaknesses. And they put in Keely Ringo out there and Adoree Jackson out there, and they're just like getting exposed. But they added 2 more corners off the trade from the Jets. And I don't know, you're not a big fan of Jair Alexander, but it's a big I feel like that's an upgrade for what they had already.
But see, think about it, right? Think about the psychological part of it, right? If we say 5 years from now, right, and just say it was the same team this year, but 5 years from now for Jair Alexander, right? And if you go trade for him 5 years from now, you would say the same thing. But he will be much older, out his prime. So it's the psychological part of thinking. It's an upgrade by thinking about the name of the person. When you actually watch these players play,
I feel like it's an upgrade because who we had there already. That's
because what?
Because who we had there already was Adoree Jackson or Keely Ringo.
That's what I'm saying. You think about it, but when you get there, that it's not going to be anything different. The only thing I can say is the team. You know, how good the defense is can help a player be better. And that may help Jair Alexander be a better player and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're on an island, man. There's only so much a defensive lineman can do. They're not going to get to the quarterback every time. So you have to show up and make a play sooner or later. And, Jair Alexander, what, his 7th, 8th year, man. And I don't know.
He's been hurt a lot. He's been hurt a lot as well, too.
Yeah, he's been hurt a lot as well, too. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Monday Night Vibes, man. Cowboys did it again, man. They did it again in good old Cowboys fashion on national television in front of the world, baby. They let everybody down. I know y'all happy to see it. All the Cowboys fans, you're going to hear people crying left and right about the Cowboys. What are you going to say?
Man, I heard somebody tell me literally after the game, they still a playoff teams.
Still a playoff team. And they probably, you know what they're probably looking at? All they're looking at is Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens. They ain't looking at nothing, no other part of the game. They ain't looking at how bad the rush defense is. They didn't look at how bad the secondary is. They didn't look at how bad Marvin Harrison Jr. did the run blend. They ain't looking at none of those things. They can't be if they think they're a playoff team. But that's America's team, man, and America's going to have their back. But we're American team hater, man. Shout out to Bruce Lee, man, always coming through, man. And shout out to the chat, man. Let's get into a few questions, man. He says, what we got here? It says, Kevin and Dylan have the same agent, too. I heard that, but me doing my research, man, I didn't really see where Dylan Gabriel had the same agent as Kevin Stefanski. My research showed me that Dylan Gabriel was signed to a WW something agency, but it wasn't the same agent. It's the coaches that makes everyone connected, you know. So that's what I found out. Clyde Marshall, Dylan Gabriel. Maybe Dylan would play better without Kevin and with another team. Look at Joe Flacco and Deshaun Watson. They regressed under Stefanski. I would agree with you, but as me evaluating Dylan Gabriel, I'm telling you that he doesn't have what it takes. He played for UCF, he played for Oklahoma, and he played for Oregon. When he got to the University of Oregon, that's when he was at his best. And yeah, the Oregon coach had a great system. He was getting the ball out fast, same system as the Bo Nix. But just on the NFL level, there's only so long that you can hide a quarterback's handicaps and things like that before the quarterback has to make plays for your team. And that's what Dylan Gabriel is not able to do. He's not able to carry the team on his back regardless of who the offensive coordinator is. See what I'm saying? Like when the game is in the fourth quarter and it's 5 minutes left in the game and things like that, like responding to Clyde, no, it doesn't matter who the offensive coordinator is. Dylan Gabriel just not able to get it done. That's just the way it is, man.
I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
Will we see another trade before the deadline tomorrow? And who's going to be?
I think it's too late, man. I think it's too late, but I think there's one trade that was still possible And at the trade deadline may still happen, and that's Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders, man. I know the Dallas Cowboys are still trying to salvage anything, as much as the season as they possibly can, and they have to get help on defense. And if Jerry Jones can make a deal for Max Crosby, man, I see Max Crosby joining the Dallas Cowboys. That's pretty much the only trade I can see right now.
So they'll pay Max Crosby tab, but not Michael Parsons tab.
Yeah, man. The game is funny, man. The game is funny. But also, man, I think Pittsburgh Steelers need a wide receiver. Jalen Waddle, AJ Brown is always in the talk. Yeah, I don't think Howie is willing to trade AJ Brown during the season. I think he's going to wait it out, see if he can at least, AJ Brown can help the Philadelphia Eagles get to a Super Bowl. And if he does help him get to a Super Bowl, maybe that will keep him around for another season. But I don't know, man. I think Jalen Waddle is one of the best possible scenarios for any team to trade for. So many teams need a wide receiver. So many teams can use them. So it's just about who.
Miami didn't call you after your resume video you made.
They didn't call me, man. I think I need to put on my suit and tie in my next interview. Maybe I'll do another interview Thursday, because I'm serious about this job, man. I really need to get to this Miami job. It's open, but I need to get to Stephen Ross, and he need to hear me and understand that who I am and how he understands that I'm going to get it done, that I'm a no-nonsense type of coach, and discipline is what I live and die by. And we're going to have a disciplined, no-nonsense team, and we're going to also have fun at the same time. One thing about me, I can't do anything without having fun. So if Stephen Ross, you hit me up, I'll be a great general manager. The players will love me, and I promise you, this team will do awesome. We will turn Miami around. You just got to give me the opportunity. I'm telling you, just hit me up. I don't want to do any interviews. No, we can do an interview, obviously, but I don't want to be, going through the typical normal standard type of interview process and things like that. We just gonna have a little chat, talk about the hiring process, who I'm a hire at defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. All these things will be talked about. But the requirements that I'm gonna need from these coaches who I hire is what we're gonna talk about. What offense he's going to run, because I require a specific type of offense. What type of defense we're going to run. Now, the defense, we can work on that, but I require a specific type of offense, and the offense is going to definitely be physical. You know what I mean? So you want a team to be put together, a well coached, disciplined team. General Manager Asante Samuel Sr. is for the job. Yeah, how that sound, baby?
That got a nice ring to it. That got a nice ring to it right there.
General Manager Asante Samuel Sr. I'm here to the podium to address anyone's questions. Yes, this is my first day on the job, and yes, I'm excited to be here. I've been looking at this job for the Miami Dolphins for the past 10 years since I've retired, 10 plus years, and I always thought this was a job that one that I can empower, that one I can bring a lot of light to. The job that needs me, needs my will, it needs my discipline, it needs everything that I learned from playing from the Bill Belichick's to the Andy Reid's to the Mike Smiths. You see the coaches I played for. I learned so much playing from just these coaches. And not only those coaches, I could take everything I learned back to my college days, to Gene Chizik, who won the national championship in Auburn with Cam Newton. I have a lot of history. I've been around. Like I said, we're going to find the offensive coordinator who fits my caliber of offensive coordinator. I need a physical team, right? So my coordinators, whoever I select, then we're going to make sure we play physical football on defense and offense, as well as special team. Woo, that sounded good, ain't it? Wait, hey, y'all ready to hire?
I'm ready to hire.
Hey, y'all send that to Stephen Ross, man. Let him know, hey, it's spring water in this cup, man. This ain't no tequila. This ain't no Patron. This ain't none of that, man. But hey, we're gonna have fun, man. It was Monday Night Vibe. So y'all don't even realize what it did, man. Y'all helped me practice for my interview, man, because I'm not coming with the paper and all this, checks and balances and things like that. I'm coming just like this. I might have a chain on too. I might have my hat on. Now I take my hat off, man. But yeah, man, it's Monday Night Vibes, man. It's your boy Sante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel.
It's your boy 2-3 Drees.
And we rocking out with y'all. We had fun rocking out with y'all tonight, man. Sorry to y'all Cowboys fans out there. Everyone, they keep letting y'all down. But hey, y'all keep riding with them. So y'all, hey, that's y'all fault. We're gonna see y'all Thursday, baby. We are.